Hi, everyone. Cathy here, your wellness coach and fellow female activist, and we are here for our wellness playlist. It is hydration today, and the topic is tea or coffee. And so we always start our wellness playlist with what we call positive quotient repetitions. Positive quotient repetitions. So if you are new here, hi, hello, like, share, all those good things. But you can close your eyes if you wish. You don't have to, especially if you're not in a safe space. Make sure, especially if you're driving, that you just listen. But if you are able and willing, you can feel free to close your eyes. I'm going to close my eyes. And what I want you to do, regardless of where you're at in space, meaning like you could be sitting, standing, laying down. I want you to roll your shoulders back so that you have a nice broad chest. And then think about your spine elongating. Okay, like really think about just seeing how high your neck can reach. And all we're going to do, okay, so depending on where your feet are, and even if you have shoes on, it's okay. But I want you to think about now feeling your feet grounded on whatever surface they're on. So if you're laying down, you might get to bend your knee so that your feet are flat on something. But think about all the pressure points happening. Now you're not necessarily having to engage so much, but for those of us standing, we actually are, right? We're feeling how all four corners of our feet are now nice and into that surface, whether it's hard, soft, and just feeling what has to happen for us to even stand. If you're sitting, it could be the same sensation because you're feeling now, you're really zoned in on how your feet feel. And I want you to at least consider all four corners of your feet, okay? Like really think, or not, don't overthink it, but just feel where your feet are. And even if you have shoes, I want you to lift your toes now, spread them. You don't often do this, I bet. And then keep them spread, but then push them back down so that all your toes are now really anchored, just like your feet. What does that sensation feel like? You might have actually felt yourself grow a little taller, depending on what stance you're in. Now we're going to shift our focus. And if you're able, I want you to listen to the furthest away sound you can hear. And now listen to the closest sound you can hear. And now, if your eyes are closed, go ahead and blink them open and come back. That, my friends, is what we call positive quotient repetitions or PQ reps. If you were already in a fairly calm state, then you may not notice much of a difference. However, if you were the opposite and you were more in a sympathetic state, you definitely, hopefully, will have felt a difference already. Okay. So, onwards. So, today we again are in the wellness playlist and it's the main topic of hydration and tea or coffee. Okay, that's the title, tea or coffee. So, hydration. Very important to understand that as humans, okay, uh, we only require water. Now, because we are humans and we're so creative, we actually have all kinds of beverages, right? From the very warm, i.e., more than our body temperature, which is a lot of hot beverages like coffee or tea, all the way to the very cold, right? You could, get something with a lot of ice, okay? Anything that, that you can think of that you drink. Our bodies, though, remember, only require literally water, okay? But for those of us, okay, who do like tea, like me, and those who like coffee, okay? tea or coffee? Like, which should I gravitate to? Well, it's a preference, quite honestly. And I will say that tea drinkers around the world outnumber coffee drinkers 2 to 1. Just saying. And with that, both, okay, tea and coffee, they're both diuretics. What does that mean? If you're not familiar, Phil, look it up, please. What it basically means is that unfortunately, these types of drinks, they dehydrate you. They make you urinate more. Okay. And it's not to say that there's anything wrong with drinking said tea or coffee. And with that, because I don't like to use but, right? That's why I keep saying and. And remember, believe it or not, yeah, you might be drinking tea all day, but you're constantly going to the potty. And that's because it's working its magic through your intestines. And it's forced, depending on what type, some tea more than others, right? And again, please keep in mind, I'm not villainizing tea or coffee, okay? Whichever you like and whichever you prefer, that's up to you, and it's up to you if you decide to drink. I love tea, um, non-caffeinated tea, and I do not like the taste of any coffee. Like I've tried all the types, none of it. And I don't require caffeine. So again, no caffeine for Cathy. No one deserves to see Cathy on caffeine. It is not pretty. But I also know that caffeine is not good for me, in large quantities regardless. So I stay away from any caffeinated beverage, right? But if you do like, I said but, right? And if you do like any types of coffee, cold, hot, doesn't matter, same with tea, right? Please remember they are diuretics. And I want you to really remember this because where I'm at, it's summer now. Today is, well, I'll just say that it's summer now. And it's important to realize that when you are just drinking water, okay, hopefully with electrolytes in it, yes, you will urinate more, but it's a more of a gentle cycle to your body because, again, water is all we really require to stay alive, quite literally. I mean, we want to eat, right? But I mean, if you are having the difference between food and water, yeah, you want actually water, okay? That's going to keep you alive longer. And the reason why I bring this up is, again, because where I'm at, it's summertime, and people are going to be like just guzzling anything that's going to keep them, hopefully cooler, right? But keep in mind, again, both tea, and I do believe even, decaffeinated brands and the most organic brand, Orville, you can think of, they all have, unfortunately, the the propendency, right? Propendency. They have diuretic properties. And so while we love tea or coffee, just remember that you don't want to go crazy with it. Like in my view, and my naturopathic doctors have said this to me. More than 2 cups of anything, whether it's coffee or tea, it's not really optimal. If you have 1 cup of either tea or, coffee during the day, that's plenty. Okay. You get the, whatever sensations and the aromas and everything, so forth and so on. You will still have that, but you don't want to overindulge. I have, unfortunately, overindulged 1 or 2 times on too much tea, and it made me ill, right? It definitely did not go over well in my tummy. So please keep in mind, again, I'm not villainizing tea or coffee. I would suggest that you consider how much caffeine you are consuming, because what you think is a regular bowel movement is only happening because you're overstimulating your nervous system with the caffeinated coffee. And then that coffee, again, is a diuretic. That is why you go to the bathroom. Naturally, when you're just drinking straight up, water, hopefully infused with some type of electrolytes, when you're just drinking water, you will still obviously urinate. And you're urinating in a very optimal way. Your body isn't being pushed into it. It literally is just, it's a natural stimulation, right? You have hydrated yourself, and now your body says, "Okay, I'm taking in the hydration I need," and then the rest comes out. So please, 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 again, today it's just about, yes, enjoy whatever teas you like, enjoy whatever coffees you like. I would ask you only to keep it quite literally down to at the most two, okay? On special occasions, maybe have two. But if you can bring it down to one a day, that's even better because, again, your body does not require anything more for hydration other than water, all right? And preferably from our previous video, it's going to be room temperature. I know that doesn't sound exciting, but whenever you elevate, again, a temperature beyond, say, high to get warmer or lower to get colder, again, our body temperatures are 98 degrees Fahrenheit, 98.6, right? Is like the average. When you deviate anywhere from that type of um, temperature, right? Your body feels a shock. Okay. So when you add ice to your drinks, depending on what it is, again, that's a shock to your system. And your nervous system realizes it, and then it goes into fight or flight mode. So again, just be mindful and take a break if you can from the caffeine whenever you can. It really will help. And it will help you during the summertime for sure, because the less fidgety, right? The less activated your nervous system is, the less it's working, and the less your body has to stay on alert. Okay, so with that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Take charge.